Hey there, welcome back to We Do Tarot. My name is Dale, and I got a new tarot deck that I have had in my Amazon Save for Later shopping cart for months now. And it came based on the recommendation of like a reader that I like to watch. So when I really like somebody's readings and the messages, and I feel like they are speaking at the level of what is going on in my life, then I know I'm linked to them, like in the invisible world. I kind of know that those are people who I would be friends with in the regular world. So I have spent a lot of time, especially like during quarantine, um, having these conversations that are not real conversations, but it's because I don't like to expend my energy on conversations with like shallow level stuff just because that's what's going on. So I feel somewhat of a kinship with like certain readers and people because of the conversations that I was hearing from them online with their tarot cards. Okay. So um what I'm going to do is I want to introduce this whole deck as quickly as we can. Now, this is the Goddess Tarot, and I already tried going through this once, just I got a few into it and I was like, okay, I am falling apart right now. So I don't like to edit my videos. I don't like to waste time. I do not like to fall apart on screen because what that feels like is when there's a disconnect between whatever information comes through me and when my brain gets in the way of that. Okay. When I get in my own way. So I'm not going to edit it because I don't want to put time into that. I just want to put time into the most effective things possible. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to butcher a lot of the names that are in here. But what I think is great about this deck is that I can already see just from the few that I've gone through, there is going to be a lot of information that we can learn on goddesses of ancient traditions that hold fast still in this modern day world because things are symbolic. We have like everything is symbolism, and it's so beneficial when you know where it comes from. Because if you don't know where it comes from, and then you find out someday and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been like using this word or doing this thing for all this time. And I had no idea it was a symbol for something else that I do not agree with. So it's like if you resonate with a certain symbol and but you feel like you can't because there's some sort of stigma against it, you might learn why once you understand the backstory behind it of why it would resonate with you but not your culture or people around you or whatever. So this is the Goddess Tarot deck by Chris Walder, and I am going to read you sort of the introduction card that comes with it. Okay, the Goddess Tarot is a celebration of the divine feminine, drawing its inspiration from the many goddesses honored throughout history and all over the globe. Award-winning author and artist Chris Walder has created an essential tool of empowerment and transformation. Walder is well known for her best-selling The Book of Goddesses, from which some of art in the tarot or in the Goddess Tarot has been taken. So, though I love to read books and I wish I could read all of them, I'm super shifty and I like chew gum and move all over the place. So we're just gonna film like we live, and it's gonna be real. All right. So anyway, um, I would rather learn about it through this deck than through a book because I just lose focus. Okay. All right. The Goddess Tarot uses goddess stories and imagery to update traditional tarot symbolism, addressing women's contemporary needs as well as a mythic past. The deck's 78 lushly illustrated cards are divided into major and minor arcanas, with four suits within the minor arcana. Suits are related to a particular goddess and the path suggested by her story, giving each suit a potent resonance. Cups, which is emotions, are associated with Venus, the Roman goddess of love. Swords with Isis, and swords are like thoughts and words and, mental stuff. Isis is extremely powerful. The great Egyptian goddess who represents the journey of loss and redemption. Pentacles with Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess of prosperity, and staves with Freya, the Norse goddess of creativity and beauty. So, okay, pentacles, that is like money and the physical world. And then what did it say? Staves. Staves would be like wands in a more traditional deck. And that has to do with creativity. Okay. Stuff that you bring from your mind into the world. So you create something in the physical world. It's kind of the thing that takes like swords and pentacles and it unites them. Okay. Or at least that's how I see it. As rich in symbolism as in its beauty, the Goddess Tarot is an instrument for personal growth and the reclamation of the divine feminine. Okay. Let's see how fast we can do this. Beginnings, Tara. 1, magic, Isis. Beginnings is the 0 card, by the way. It's like the Fool. 2, wisdom, Sarasvati. 3, fertility, Est Sana Lehi. Est Sana Lehi. We're going to take some time learning these because I can't stand disrespecting things just because I don't know how to pronounce them. 4, power, Freya. 5, tradition, Juno. 6, love, Venus. 7, movement, Rhiannon. Rhiannon, maybe? Okay. 8, justice, Athena. 9, contemplation, Chango. 10, fortune, Lakshmi. 11, strength, Oya. 12, sacrifice, Kuan Yin. 13, transformation, Ukemochi. Perhaps that's how it's pronounced. All right. These Roman numerals, they catch my brain up. So I need to, caught up in a bad way, like I can't figure them out. 14, balance, Yamana. 15, temptation, Nyaloro Kiru. 16, oppression, the Wawalak. 17, the star, Inanna. That one is gorgeous. 18, the moon, Diana. 19, the sun, the Zoria. 20, judgment, Buenawaifar. 21, the world, Gaia. Ace of Swords. And you see that these are going to have Egyptian symbolism because Isis is the ruler of the swords. 2 of Swords. And I'll just tell you real quick. We'll just give some quick intuitive definition. A new idea grounding down into the earth. 2 of Swords, indecision because you can't see what the outcomes are going to be. 3 of Swords, thinking about what breaks your heart. 4 of Swords, contemplating what you really want to do in life. 5 of Swords, a little bit like self-sabotage, not knowing what to do. 6 of Swords, moving away from troubling thoughts and words and things. 7 of Swords, stealing somebody else's ideas. 8 of Swords, it's like a self-imprisonment in the thoughts. 9 of Swords, keeping you up at night because you can't stop thinking. 10 of Swords, it's the ending. It's the ending of some idea that you can't get over. The Prince of Swords is young energy. So this is like the Knave of Swords or the Page, right? So it's very young, youthful energy. So inexperienced, but their energy might be like clean and immature in a certain sense. Princess of Swords, and that is, what would that be? The Knight. Normally it would be the Knight of Swords. But here she looks careful. Like the Knight of Swords normally looks like it's moving into action too quickly. Then, interesting. The King of Swords comes before the Queen of Swords. Okay. All right. So the Queen of Swords in this deck, we'll see if it's because I think it's the goddess. So it's somewhat more like matriarchal society. So it seems like the queen is the highest. Okay. Ace of Wands, and that's a new creation, grounded and being grown by the sun. Okay. 2 of Wands or staves, and that's holding on to one creative idea, even though there's 2 available, and just kind of waiting to see what happens with it. 3. So there is 3 creative ideas here, but there's only one that she's holding on to, and that is the one that is coming towards her, like where she's watching her ships come in. 4 of Swords or 4 of Wands or staves, that's stability in marriage. 5 of staves, is a little battling of creative burden, right? Creative battles of like, who's going to be the leader? Whose idea is the best? Are they even equipped to be a good leader if their idea gets chosen? Six of Staves is like the one who won that battle, the idea battle of creativity, and who's being recognized for it. Then the Seven of Staves is once you win, you have to defend it, because once you have a good idea and a good creation, then people are like, "Oh, I know how to do it better than that." It's like, you know how to do it better. That's what ruins things, is when people try to make things better and better and better. It's like you're just creating more choice, more problems. Eight of Staves is a message coming in fast, a message of creativity coming in fast from the universe. The Nine of Staves is considered the wounded warrior card. And it's like when you're stopping to take a break because you are tired. And then the Ten of Staves is sort of when you have so much creativity that it holds all of it down. If you see this like 10th wand right there, it's like holding them all down so none of them can grow properly. Then you have the Prince of Staves, Princess of Staves, King of Staves, and Queen of Staves. Oh, this is beautiful. The Ace of Cups, and it looks like it's the sun, but it kind of looks like a moon, right? Can you see it? I know the reflection is tough to get through, but that is like this. I'm going to say it's the moon because it's a dark sky, even though it looks like the sun because it has rays coming out of it. Um, the moon is like the seat of our intuition. It's the seat of our emotions and things like that. And so it's almost like the moon is the one energizing this cup for you of emotions. It's bigger than you. The Two of Cups usually symbolizes partnership, fulfilling partnership. The Three of Cups is like friendship and people gathering together in order to celebrate and just increase their emotional abundance. Four of Cups is about not having emotional fulfillment. Five of Cups is about what you've lost, like thinking about the things, being stuck on the concepts of like the cups that have been knocked over and not seeing that there's other opportunities yet. Six of Cups is all about nostalgia. What fills up those cups are, memories of childhood. It's so emotionally healing. You really need to go into that sometimes. Seven of Cups is when you know you have you have to do a creative endeavor, but it's almost like there's so many that could fulfill you. You you aren't quite sure. But once you get to the Eight of Cups, it's like you add in one more cup of emotional disfulfillment, discontentment, and you got to walk on, move forward. Nine of Cups is emotional fulfillment on a personal level. And then the 10 of Cups is like emotional fulfillment that you have so much that now you can share it with others. Prince of Cups, Princess of Cups, King of Cups, and then Queen of Cups. Okay. Obviously, a prince and a princess are a younger version. They would be like the children of the king or queen, right? So they still have this childish um energy where they might have more energy to do something and less, they're less jaded about doing something, but they don't have the experience necessarily to carry it through with the kind of clout that a king or a queen would have it. So, um, we're thinking about these in terms of good king and queen, though during a reading it might not come out that way. Okay, so the Ace of Pentacles is new growth on this earth. When you're thinking in terms of like a new gift from God, you can plant all the seeds that you want, right? But it's up to the powers that be that control nature as to whether it grows or not. That's not on you. Okay, so when you get the ace, it's like you're being gifted something. So all you need to do is sustain that thing, okay? You didn't create it, but you do need to sustain it if you want to hold on to it. The Two of Pentacles is about balancing these two things that you're giving. Now, she looks very peaceful in doing it. Sometimes it's like the juggling act is so intense that you can never have fulfillment with it. The Three of Pentacles is about building somewhat of a kingdom with other people so that you can have an abundant place that is filled with what you want with the people around you. The Four of Pentacles, she actually looks very peaceful about holding on to her pentacles. Sometimes it's a little bit of a greedy energy and it prevents growth, but she looks good about it. Five is feeling left out in the cold, like the pentacles aren't meant for you, like you don't have a place in this world. The Six of Pentacles is about when you kind of like move on from that space of feeling left out in the cold to where you arrive to where there is equal give and take. but you never know how long that's going to take. Just like in this garden with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like you can plant a grapevine, but how long is it going to be until you have an abundance to where you can like sell the grapes or make wine or make grape juice? It's like that shit takes time and it's controlled by nature. And sometimes natural things can happen to wipe out all of that growth, right? Like a fire or frost or whatever. The Eight of Pentacles is, to me, I look at it as like, while you're waiting for those things to grow, you need to be working on your craft. You need to be working on the skill that brings in the pentacles every day. And between the two of those things, you are going to have complete financial abundance, security. The Ten of Pentacles is security to share with everybody. And you have the Prince of Pentacles, Princess of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and Queen. And I think it's just so cool that they leave it with the king or the queen as being the highest, because truly, a king without a good queen is only like half of a good leader, if even. What the queen nourishes within the king, what she can help him to be encouraged to do just because of her love for him and her security, his security with her. It's amazing. It's amazing. So we're going to leave it off at that. Just so we could flip through it and then we will do some readings from it. Okay. I'm looking very forward to it. I love you. Goodbye.